Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? What up, what up? It's your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie, getting at you guys in my living room on the res. Yeah, I'm sitting in my living room about to crochet, and I'm watching Rush Hour Part 1. Isn't Rush Hour, like all the Rush Hours, everybody's favorite, like, comfort show or something? I have plenty of those. Like, I can watch these movies like over and over again and like obviously not get tired of it. And yeah, I sent Rob about a month ago. I sent him like a video, and I guess it was like a psychology thing about people that can replay movies, and it's pretty interesting. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm all of these things. I think there was like 3 different kinds of people that replay movies and things. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find that, and I don't know, maybe share it with you guys, but I'm pretty sure you guys can look it up on YouTube. But anyhow, so I thought my husband was calling me. He's sending me stuff right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me just get into it. All right. I still haven't edited those episodes yet where I was talking about like my whole moving back to the reservations. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I moved back to the reservation. I'm so glad that I came back. And I know some of you guys may know that I had a 9-to-5 and I actually got fired. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to make like a proper... I tried recording like what happened. I just might, but I'm not sure yet. I still have yet to edit that one if I do decide to publish it. But yeah, I got fired. And I did talk about like, I was in my bedroom and I talked about it, where I was like, you know, you look at something, like what I was trying to say, but I didn't say it, or what I wanted to say, but didn't say it, is that like I was looking at my, my job uniform, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, you know, like just kind of thinking about that I thought I was doing good, but I guess I wasn't. But anyhow, that's not what this episode is about. But I did mention a couple times, and if I didn't, I meant to, that when I moved back here, that I was gonna get into some very deep, wholesome topics. And I was telling my nephew, because he was helping me move, he was helping me and my parents move my things out here, and he's such a sweetheart. And I was trying to school him a little bit. Like, I was like, yo, I'm telling you this right now, I don't know you, and I don't think you know me. And it was like, I told him, I said, there are some things that I'm going to say that you're not going to like. And he asked me straight up, he was like, do you have any friends? And I said, no. I said, and if I do have friends, like, we rarely talk. Like, we didn't end a friendship on a bad note. It's just that as adults, we have our own families, we have our own lives and things like that. And there's no like falling out. It's just, but he was quite shocked, because he only knows friendships at school and at the gym, or, wherever. And I told him that I have lost friends because they didn't like what I said. They don't like how I live my life. They always have something to say. And if they didn't say anything, they're judging me without, telling me straight up. being fake to my face, pretending like they're happy for me when they're not, things like that. And I told him, I was like, yeah, you're gonna be going through some things, but that's why you have someone like me that has the ability, and I can, if you want me to help you navigate through bullshit. And I said, trust me, you're gonna go through some bullshit. And I said, you're not gonna like some of the things that I'm gonna say, or that I'm gonna tell you, or that what it looks like, or what it sounds like. I said, when you get yourself a partner, and let's just say, for instance, I don't like her, I'm gonna tell you why I don't like her. I'm not just gonna be giving you some bullshit fucking answer. My point was that I was trying to make to him was that you're not gonna like the things that I say, just like everybody else. And I'm quite used to this. And I know him. He's as far as like, I know that he doesn't mean to, but you gotta let people know like what's up. And I had to let him know that, there's some things that you do that I don't like. I just want you to keep it respectful. And, he understood. But I know that when he gets older, he is hopefully going to have a good mind of his own to use the senses that God, Creator, gave him, and doesn't make stupid ass decisions, right? And I can only hope and pray that for him. And we had a really, really good talk, just him and I. I was not intending for him to ride with me out here because I wanted to podcast. I wanted to, just pray on the road, just be by myself, and just kind of leave behind that life that I was living, having a normal job. And I'm that type of person where I look at something from my past, something materialistic, or like, a certain situation. And I kind of reflect on like, yeah, that was a good time in my life, or that was a complicated time in my life. Damn, I didn't realize that I was struggling. I thought everything was fine. And then come to find out, like, nothing was fine. So, I had those moments, and I feel like as I'm sitting here right now, I can't believe that I actually went through with having a job. And I can't believe that I had the audacity to go onto a website, that people were claiming were having fake interviews, capturing people in those fake interviews and trafficking them. And I was like, well, I'm gonna take a chance. That's a whole nother fucking thing, right? But I took a chance on that website, and I had I submitted an application. I had someone reach out to me, and I did like the whole Zoom call thing, and I went a week doing training, and met some people, and I tried to learn where things are, how to do things in the store, just the whole training thing. And I was very happy that it was I thought I was going to have this job forever. it wasn't a temporary job, right? But okay, I'm going into something I really should be talking about on the W-2. But anyhow, the point is that I went through a time, and I guess the job was like a chapter. And as you're going through chapters, you really don't, you don't think you're going through a chapter. You know, you're just thinking like, yo, this is like, I'm on solid ground. This is gonna be my life, or this is now my identity, or a part of my identity. And you know, you start to appreciate those that you see every day, and you start to know one another. At least that's what I thought. But I guess I would be a different special case because of my abilities and because of who I am. And I know that the people that I worked with, their soul or their spirits felt or saw my light, and they saw my light shining so fucking bright that it unintentionally blinded the fuck out of them, and they didn't like it. So they took my light as a threat. And I'm a very fair person. I follow my creator, Masao. He is very, very fucking fair. And all I was trying to do was be that at my job. And I just feel like people don't know how to navigate. Like, they don't know what the hell's happening when someone is being nice to them, or if someone's being fair, or if someone's being helpful. It's kind of like they lose their shit. They lose their focus. And that kind of tells you like where they're at mentally. Because why is my kindness making you fumble the ball? That kind of tells me and shows me that you had very ill intentions, or you're very selfish, or, you know, something not nice. I don't want to say negative, because I feel like people navigate through life just not having anything in their brain, you know, like they just go through the world with nothing going on upstairs, you know, like they're like on autopilot. And I don't live that way. I can't work that way. I can't go on about my day that way. But there are people that are able to do it. That's all they do. That's all they know. They don't know nothing else. They don't know any other way to be. But like, have you guys ever seen A Bug's Life where a leaf fell from the tree right in the middle of the ant line as they're picking seeds, or, you know, taking the seeds and fruits and stuff back to their colony? And the ants were panicking. They were just like, I'm lost. Where's the line? What do we do? What do we do? You know, and that's kind of like what happens when, for instance, when I'm offering a helping hand, or I'm like, hi, how are you? And I know you guys listen, or if you haven't, but on my other podcast called the Re-Up Podcast, when I'm dropping off food deliveries, you'll hear me tell them, enjoy your breakfast, enjoy your lunch, enjoy your dinner. And they're always like, oh yeah, you too. I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, that's okay. Like, I will when I have it, because they're set on autopilot. Like, oh, have a nice night. They're, you know, when someone says have a nice night, they're like, oh yeah, you too. Like, that's just the thing to say. And that just means that, like, first of all, they're not listening to one another, and they're not listening to you. They don't listen to each other, and they fail to listen to me when I say that to them. I'm like, oh, enjoy your dinner. Yeah, you. I mean, and I know it's gonna happen. That's why I don't like to embarrass people. So I'm just like, oh yeah, I will when I have it. Thank you very much. Have a nice night. And then I give them the opportunity to say, oh, you too. Thanks. So, but my point is that people just have a hard time with who you are. And maybe not. They're not conscious of it. But I feel like they are, though. Because we live in a time where I feel like people just get away with bullshit all the time. No one checks their ass. That's why people lash out. They think they can say whatever the fuck they want to say. They do whatever the fuck they want to do. They don't think about their actions, or like, like that's the proper way to be or not be, or like, you know what, I should really have some manners, especially in a place of business. They just do whatever the hell they want to do. And I'm not like that, especially in a workplace. You're telling me to do something, I'm going to do my best. And like, you can't just run up on me and tell me that I'm doing something wrong when I wasn't even trained for it. That's your fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And when I spoke out and said, like, I was never trained for that, but to them, it's still your fault. And it's like, again, I spoke up about it and they didn't like it. Like I was supposed to take that shit like, no. You are going to admit that you fucked up, or the people that work under you fucked up by not training me on this thing. But of course, it's never their fault. And it's the fact that you stand up for yourself. And it's like, I think I talked about it on the What It Do at Audie's W2, where it was like, are we good? Are we cool? Are we gonna fight? Is there something good between us, or is it something bad between us? Like, oh, okay, you're just gonna walk away, okay, and just leave me, like you're purposely trying to leave me feeling stupid. Like, tell me that it's okay, because I'm really wondering about this. But I'm taking it like, she's mad at me for no reason, or for the fact that whoever she had that should have trained me fuck up. So I shouldn't be the one feeling stupid. You should be the one feeling embarrassed, like, not me. But it's the fact, again, that I spoke out and said something. And they don't like that. When somebody, gosh, I don't even know. Like, I hope you guys understand that everything has to do with everything. Like, I'm telling you guys a portion of what's been going on at my previous place of employment. that it don't stop there. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I thought, and I was very much trying to figure out if that's what I was actually doing. And I've always wanted to come back to the reservation. I always wanted to come back because I'm happier here. Like, I don't think about shit. You know, all the worries that a person has or that I've had, like it literally just like goes away. There's just no stresses here, you know. And you know, I'm real with myself. Like, okay, do you like being here because you know you don't have to pay rent? Like, are you happy here because you don't pay like a huge amount of money on internet or the electric, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just like, no, because like we've been paying that, you know. Like, if you want the good luxuries in life, you know, yeah, you kind of gotta pay for that, you know. And my granddad and my father have told me growing up, they said, be thankful that you have bills, because that just means that you're living a good life. You have a good life because you have the luxuries of having it. Yes, you gotta work for the things that you want, and I enjoy working. I love working. The things that get in the way are people, how people act, how people talk to you. You know, people want to act like they're nonchalant about like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But you very fucking well know that you slow the fuck down when you saw me coming. You know, you're trying to hold me up for what? You're trying to inconvenience me, and you're trying to intimidate me. Like, you're trying to dictate where I'm going, and where I'm going is an emergency, or you know what I'm saying? Like, people, they don't give a fuck. It's all about them needing some type of control, and with that, it is disappointing people. It's getting people angry on purpose, and we're the ones lashing out, and they fucking love it. They fucking they feed off of that shit. And I think it was really hard for people, again, for instance, to try to control me at my previous place of employment. When somebody was sick, didn't feel good, or when they were upset, I would ask them genuinely, like, are you all right? Or I would give them a hug. I would tell them that everything's okay. I would hear them out. And I would be like, hey, like, if you guys want to take a break, you know, I'll cover for you. Like, you know, take some time. Or if you need me to stay behind, like, you know, I'll stay behind and I'll help. You know, like, I don't like to see the people that I thought were my friends. I don't like to see anybody that I like struggle and feel bad and be angry, because I know what that shit is like. And you know, I'm 40 years old, and everybody thinks that I'm extremely young, which is very flattering, I'm not gonna lie. But like, I've been through so much. I've been through more than most people at my age, and maybe older, you know what I'm saying? And I have some things to say, and I do have opinions, and I do have advice, but people don't want to hear the discipline. They don't want the education. They don't want the advice. Talking about they don't need your advice, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, but like, I just care. You know, I care about what I care about how you're feeling. I don't want you to say or do the wrong thing, because when people speak things out, you are kind of like manifesting that, like, you know, that energy, you know, it just multiplies and shit goes wrong for everybody. You know, words are very powerful. People need to watch what the fuck they say, and people don't, because what did I say? Everybody likes to do and say whatever the fuck they want to do or say, and that's not always a good thing, especially when it comes from a negative place. And you know, you kind of gotta tell people, how to be, because a lot of people, they don't know what makes them happy or how to be happy. And I'm the type of person, like, I'll throw everything on the table to find it. And when that happens, people are just closed up and they don't want to share what really makes them happy. And sometimes it can be quite embarrassing for people, you know, like, you can be like a sex freak and be embarrassed to say that. And it's like, well, if you literally want to fuck around and find out, like, all right, then have an OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? If that's what makes you happy. But, you know, there's some things that come along with it. You know what I mean? Like your safety, you know, your health, your privacy, you know, like there's, and I'm just saying it because it's one of those things that may be embarrassing, but like maybe that's something they really want to do, you know. And I'm not gonna knock someone's high sense of sexuality, you know, and I'm just like, all right, well, if you want to make it happen, you know. And you could just be like a whole better person, you know, because sex is an activity, and it's also a healthy activity, especially if you're sharing it with someone special in your life. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this as a for instance, like it can literally be anything. And you want to go after and do the things that make you happy, because the more happy you are, the more grateful you will be navigating through this life, you know, this world. And we need more happiness in this world. Like, there's so many fuck shit going on in this world, and like it's coming to the point where like we're all starting to feel like, man, there's nothing that we can do to change it, because who the fuck are we? You know, we can't go up against, you know, the big dogs, right? Because they'll just kill us, you know what I mean? So for us to navigate in our own world, in our own lives, it is important. It does shape and shift better when other people are around you. And I think a lot of people, they're just like, man, like, I'm not here to make anybody happy but myself. And it's like, okay, so like you're one of those ones that need to be put the fuck down. You know what I mean? Like, you don't deserve nothing nice or nothing good in this lifetime because you said some fuck shit like that, you know? And when you say something, they can try to do anything, say anything to you to make you feel like shit. And it's like, nah, dog, I'm fucking happy. I'm happy where I'm at. I got so much peace and love in my life. Everything that you're saying to me is literally like rolling the fuck off of me. You're the one with the fucking anger problem. Like, you're the one with the problem, not me. You're just mad because I said it to you. And I've had this before. I've had people tell me who I was. And yeah, that got me mad. But you know what? The more they kept saying it to me, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And can you blame me for being mad about what you're trying to call me out on? Like, fuck yeah, I'm mad. You know? And it could just turn into this whole conversation of both of us trying to figure it out. And I appreciate the time, the effort, and the love, and the teachings, and the advice, and the opinions, and the the criticize, like all of these things, like people don't know how to take. And you want to be the person that does that, that can do that, because everybody in this fucking world, they cannot do that. And I always tell people, you want to be the person and have these tendencies and to tolerate these things. Like, you want to do the things that people can't do, because that makes you a much stronger human being. Don't you realize this? It's not someone talking shit. Like, why can't you or anyone look at what's being said to you or about you and like just accept it and just be like, you know what, you're right. And I've had conversations with people that told me shit, and they never were like trying to talk shit. It's the way that a person perceives it. Like, I'm perceiving it like, you know what, yeah, you're right. Fuck yeah, I'm pissed. Like, wouldn't you be pissed? Like, how would you deal with it? Or have you gone through it? You know, that's what people have the most trouble with. And you could just see it, you know, like whether it was my place of previous employment or it was the customers, or, you know, like, and it even got to the point where I was like reevaluating myself at the end of a work day. And I'm just like, dude, like, it can't just be me all the time. I show up with a positive attitude and they're the ones shutting it down. Oh my gosh, when I record these, I really need to start putting my phone on like airplane mode. Yeah, I had a phone call. So kind of broke my focus, but hopefully you guys understand like where I'm going with all of this. And it doesn't stop. It does not stop. If you are a student and you go to school and you have friends, or you have, I don't want to call them enemies, but some of you might have enemies, or people that just don't like you. They feel some type of way about you. They act some type of way around you. They're just unkind. It could just be someone that walks right past you on the street. It could be someone in a coffee shop when you're getting coffee, on your way to work. It could be your boss or your bosses or people that you work with. It could be the customers. Like, you are putting yourself out there. And this isn't like social media, right? Because social media is like a whole different fucking thing. And it you know, social media and, you know, AI, they have captured, you know, like just parts of who you are. You know, it's almost like, yeah, you kind of control what you put out there, but like it's yeah, it's like a whole different, I don't really want to get into that either, because that's, again, that's like a whole different thing. But I suppose you have a lot more control with in your surroundings almost, you know, like, I mean, obviously if someone's coming up to you, trying to attack you, assault you, that's like, you know, like a whole nother thing. But I'm talking about like vibes and energy, positive and negative. In person, you do have a lot more control, right? Because it's like you're seeing these people like face to face, and you're having conversations and like physical interactions with them, whether it's a handshake or, you know, something to that effect. You are physically working alongside these people, and you have to interact with them because that's part of your job. So you do have control over that, a bit, even though like your job is telling you to do it. You have control like over your feelings the most, because you are physically seeing that, their faces. You are physically, like, it's a lot more personal. The only issue with that is you shouldn't involve yourself with them emotionally, because that's what's gonna drain the fuck out of you, like, to the max. If you are the type of person that is empathetic towards people, like you're very kind, like you have a very big heart, and you're just super helpful. And even though like you get stepped on so many times, you could be kicked around, and as soon as they say that they're sorry, it could be a half-ass sorry, but to you, you're like, oh, they said sorry, so I think we're good now, like we're cool, we're best friends, you know, because I'm that type of person, and I do get very upset with myself knowing that I'm like that, and like I still allow people to treat me like that, knowing that that's the type of person that they are. They're very mean. But if you're anything like me, we get invested emotionally, but we really can't help that we're like that, unless it's like really, really bad. Like there's some people that I will not talk to, like ever again. Like I don't want to see them. I don't want them back in my life. Like keep the fuck away from me. There's people like that I consider like I don't want them like fucking near me. There's some people that I am iffy about, like, you know what, you made the choice. Like my door is literally open for with if and when you are ready to talk. I'm not necessarily waiting for an apology. It's just, oh, you have the balls to talk to me, you know? And it's like, all right, let me hear you out. But after I hear you out, you have to hear me out, and we can fix this, or we can just leave it where it's at. There's some people that, yes, I will listen to in that way, but it has to be like a two-way street, not a one-way street. It can't just go your way, because that's pretty much how we've been doing it, right? We've been doing it your way. You decided one day not to talk to me, so it's my fault, you know? Like I don't see it like that, you know? Like, no, you're not gonna try to trap my ass like that and make me feel shitty. You know, when you also had a hand in leaving it where it was, and when I felt like, oh, okay, that's just what they want to do about me right now, or, you know, this is how they want to handle it with me, then all right, I'll give it to them. You know, people know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we are as open as we are, and like, yo, you kick on any one of my podcasts, any episode from any one of my podcasts, that is genuinely who I am. And I would say that I'm very much approachable. I don't know why they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? And it all boils down to me. This is just my opinion, but I do think it's because they don't like the shit that I say. It's too real. It's too honest. It's too, like, you know, I don't even want to say like blunt, but it's very bold, and it's loud, and it's discipline, and It's just shit that they can't take. And I'm not saying all of this as a flex or like a threat or like, you know, it for me, it's not really something I want to be proud of. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to trust me and talk to me. Like, you know, I love all people. I want them to love me back. And again, there's just so many people that are just unwilling to do that. They're unwilling to even try it. And they don't even, like, they're so fucking afraid of the outcome. And it's like, the only way that I could think the reason why they're like that is because they know that they're shitty people making shitty moves. And if it's not that, then fucking come forward and tell us. Tell us what it is if we're so fucking wrong about you. Like, you not saying anything to us is saying a whole lot. Like, you're telling me. You know, you're telling me by not saying anything. And people, they just can't, they just won't go there. You know, there's times where I can't go there even with myself. Like, even when I'm telling my husband something shitty, like, I tell him, like, man, I can't. Like, I can't go there right now. And he understands. Just as long as I make it vocal and I let him know, honestly, like, I will tell you, but I can't tell you right now. Like, I'm just too hurt. Like, it's some bullshit. I don't want to talk about it. You know, like, when I got fired, dude, like, I was more disappointed than I was mad. I was surprised that I didn't even cry. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very sensitive person. And I just didn't get it. Like, I was confused. I was like, damn, like, it's been a while since I've been this confused. You know what I mean? But I just told him, like, yo, I got fired. I don't want to talk about it. You know? And I had so much shit to say, but I just couldn't. I just did not want to go there. I didn't want to talk about it. You know, I bitch to my husband all the time about, like, how work was, how I thought it was gonna be, but then, like, something happened or someone said something or looked at me some type of way. I was trying to be nice and I was trying to be helpful. I was trying to take the load off of some of my co-workers, but I got slapped in the face with it. You know, like, it's, you know, I tried, you know, and there's just some times where I'm just like, I can't talk about it. Like, I just can't. Like, I'm too upset. I'm too hurt. Like, I don't even know what the fuck to say. Like, can you believe it? Adi has no fucking words. And that's when you know, like, I'm just really hurt about it. And it's okay to leave those things out for yourself, as long as you're honest with yourself. Like, man, I can't talk about it right now. It's gonna put me even more in a bad place. Yes, you can stop yourself from doing that. You know, if you feel the only way that you can get it out is by talking to a counselor, or, you know, like, someone that has that's their profession. Like, they have a license to do that, right? And if that really helps you, then yes, do that. If you want to journalize it, like in a journal or something, you know, like, you can do that. And that don't necessarily mean that you got to share it with anybody unless you really, really want to. I would think that the only time I would bring that back up to, like, fully, well, not fully talk about it, because I don't think they would really allow that, is if I were to go to another job interview and they would be like, okay, why did you leave, or why were you let go? And at that point, hopefully I've healed myself enough to say the bullshit. I don't think talking about the bullshit with your new employer would be a good thing. You know, because it's almost like you want to put on your best suit. You know, you want to be picked and chosen for the job, and you want to remain professional, not something personal. You know what I mean? So you can't tell them in a job interview how hurt you were, and all you can say is, you know, I just want to improve. I want a chance to improve it. And if I'm doing a bad job, I would really appreciate it if you guys would tell me that I'm lacking and that I need improvement, and not just all of a sudden be like, yeah, we're letting you go. You work pretty shitty. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how it was handled with me. And that would be the only thing that I would ask of my job. Like, yo, I do and can take criticism, feedback. I can take training. I do not talk back. Like, I will do my best to improve and, you know, to make us all look good. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what they want. So that would be the only thing that I would say, you know, when it comes to talking about shit that you don't want to talk about. And that's pretty much with anything. It's not just with a job. Like, it's anything in your life. And you have to really trust yourself that you are going to be dishonest with yourself. Don't be ashamed of it, because it already passed. And you can't change the past. You can just change your outlook on how you want to improve yourself and how you want to look at yourself. Because that's the same shit that I was telling my nephew. Like, you want people to perceive you in a way that like you, like, if you see yourself wanting to be a certain something, like, oh, I want to be the kid that can, like, really, like, lift weights, and, like, I want to be a strong kid, like, I want to be the first one that everyone picks on the football team, like, I want to be the one where that if I catch a dude hitting a chick, I'm going to step up to that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't hit girls. You don't hit women. Because I have women in my life that I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to them. You know, and people are going to know you for those things. And that's what I told my nephew. But you need to find out who the fuck you are and your purpose, and do that. Because you have a lot of motherfuckers running around in this world not knowing who the fuck they are, and they allow their jobs, their whatever environment that they are scheduled to be, they're allowing those places and those people and companies to dictate who they are and control of their happiness and induce more stress. So we all need to think about that. And then act accordingly. And that is all that I have for you guys in this episode. There was a shit ton of takeaways that I hope you guys will implement in your, not just your daily life, but in every single way you think, or in the ways that you think and act. Thank you all so much for pressing play. Don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. And I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace.